Think about the last baby shower you attended. There was probably a registry, right? Diapers, onesies, a bassinet, maybe one of those fancy bottle warmers. The mom to be probably had a birth plan: epidural or no epidural. Who's in the delivery room? What happens if there's a C section? Now think about the last time you attended a funeral. Did that person have a death plan? Did anyone know what they wanted? Did the family have a registry for their wishes? Probably not. We throw baby showers and create birth plans, but we don't talk about death plans. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly how we got here, and more importantly, how to change it. I'm Donnett Sinclair. I'm a registered nurse with over 20 years in hospice and home health care, and I just launched my book, The Last Gift: The Conversation That Prevents Family Trauma. This book exists because I've watched hundreds of families fall apart, not because they didn't love each other, but because they never had one conversation. And that conversation? It starts with understanding how death became the one thing we don't plan for, because it wasn't always this way. Let's look at what we do plan for in life. Birth? Oh, we plan the hell out of that. Baby showers at month 7, hospital tours, birth classes. We create registries with 47 different types of bottle nipples. We have entire conversations about whether the baby sleeps in a bassinet or a crib, whether we're doing cloth or disposable diapers, who's cutting the umbilical cord. We plan for education. We tour preschools when our kids are still in diapers. We save for college before they can walk. We plan for marriage, engagement parties, bridal showers, venue tours, seating charts. We plan for retirement. We have 401ks, financial advisors, seminars on how to retire at 65 with dignity. We plan for vacations. We research hotels, read reviews, create itineraries, pack lists. But death? The one thing that is 100% guaranteed to happen to every single one of us? Silence. We don't have death showers where we celebrate someone taking the time to plan their end-of-life wishes. We don't have death classes where we learn what our options are. We don't tour hospice facilities the way we tour birthing centers. We don't create a death registry where we document what we want: no machines, no suffering, at home with family, cremation, not burial. We don't talk about it. We don't plan for it. And when it happens, families are left in absolute chaos. And here's the cost of that silence. I can't tell you how many times I've stood in a hospital room at 2 a.m. watching a family fall apart because nobody knows what dad would have wanted. Should we do CPR? I don't know. We never talked about it. Should we put in a feeding tube? I don't know. Did he ever say? Would he want to be on a ventilator? I have no idea. And then the fighting starts. One sibling says he would want everything done. Another says, no, he wouldn't want to suffer like this. And the spouse is caught in the middle, drowning in guilt because they don't know. 50 years of marriage and they don't know. That's what happens when we don't plan for death. The people we love are left guessing, and guessing turns grief into trauma. But here's what most people don't realize. It wasn't always this way. 100 years ago, in 1900, 85% of Americans died at home. Death wasn't hidden. It was a family event. Picture this. Your grandmother is dying. She's in her bed at home, the same bed she slept in for 40 years. The whole family gathers. Your aunts, uncles, cousins, even the children are there. Nobody hides death from the kids. They've seen it before. Animals on the farm, neighbors who passed, infant siblings who didn't make it. Death is part of life. When grandma takes her last breath, the women in the family wash her body. They dress her in her Sunday best. They lay her in a simple wooden coffin in the parlor. For 2 days, the community comes to pay respects. Then she's buried in the family plot. Everyone was involved. Everyone knew what was happening. Children grew up with death literacy. They understood what dying looked like, what to do when someone died, how to grieve. Nobody needed a handbook on how to support a dying person because they'd seen it dozens of times. But then, between 1945 and 1970, everything changed. Medical advances meant hospitals became places of healing instead of just surgery. We got antibiotics, ventilators, ICUs. Suddenly, we could keep people alive longer. Families moved from farms to cities. Multi-generational homes became nuclear families in small apartments. There was no room for dying at home. And death became professionalized. Funeral homes took over. Hospitals took over. We handed death to the experts. By the year 2000, only 25% of people died at home. Death moved from the bedroom to the hospital. And we lost something critical in that shift. We lost death literacy. We stopped seeing death, so we stopped talking about it. We stopped talking about it, so we stopped planning for it. And now we're living in a culture where the one thing guaranteed to happen to all of us is the one thing we refuse to prepare for. So how do we change this? We complete the circle. We plan for death the same way we plan for birth. We normalize the conversation. We make it annual, routine, no big deal. And it starts with 3 simple steps. Step 1, lead with love, not illness. Most people think death conversations have to start with, "What happens when you die?" or "Let's talk about your funeral." That's way too heavy, way too fast. Instead, start here. I love you, and I want to make sure I can honor what matters to you if health decisions ever come up. You're not asking them to imagine their death. You're telling them you love them and you want to do right by them. That's a conversation people can have. This isn't about dying. It's about living fully, knowing your wishes are known. Step 2, ask about values, not decisions. You're not trying to fill out a 50-page advance directive today. You're just listening. Try asking, what makes life worth living for you? What would make it not worth living? If you couldn't speak for yourself, who would you trust to make decisions? These questions get to the heart of what matters. And when you understand someone's values, the medical decisions become clearer. You're not solving anything today. You're just opening the door. Step 3, make it annual, not one time. You know how you update your will when you get divorced or remarried? How you review your insurance every year? How you adjust your retirement plan? Do the same with death planning. Make it a tradition. Thanksgiving, New Year's Day, your birthday, whatever works for your family. Every year, check in. Has anything changed? Do you still want the same things? Is there anything you want to tell me while you still can? When you normalize it this way, it stops being this huge, scary, one-time conversation. It becomes routine, like updating your beneficiaries, like talking about where the kids should go to college. And when something does happen, when health changes, when crisis hits, you're not starting from zero. You're already prepared. So here's my challenge to you. Have one conversation this week, just one. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to fill out forms or make it official. Just start. Ask someone you love, what makes life worth living for you? That's it. That's the beginning. Because here's the truth. We plan for birth because we celebrate it. We should plan for death because we honor it. Both are sacred. Both deserve preparation. Let's complete the circle. This is video 2 in my Complete the Circle series, where I'm teaching you how to normalize death planning in your family, whether you're 25 or 75. We're building a movement here. Thousands of families are having these conversations for the first time. You're not alone in this. Next video, I'm breaking down the 3 phrases that kill death conversations before they even start and what to say instead. Because knowing what not to say is just as important as knowing what to say. Here's what I need you to do. Hit that subscribe button and join the movement. We're normalizing death conversations one family at a time, and I need you to be part of this. If you want the complete roadmap, the exact scripts, the step-by-step process, how to make this an annual tradition, that's all in my book, The Last Gift, The Conversation That Prevents Family Trauma. Link in the description. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being brave enough to even watch this. Let's normalize death planning together.